Hello, everyone. This is Tom Fox back for another episode. I'm absolutely thrilled to have my good friend and colleague, Chris Mason, on today. Chris, first of all, welcome to the podcast.
Great to be here, Tom. Good to see you again.
Chris, you've had some pretty exciting news lately, so I'm going to start by asking you, what is your role in the greater GRC world?
Exciting times indeed. I actually recently just launched my risk advisory practice, Woodhorn Global. And so we focus on due diligence investigations as they lead up to investment situations, particularly where you've got a risk scenario that's new, sort of unexpected or really complicated. Think emerging markets, massive deals. I can help sort of unpack the risk situation, including regulatory analysis, geopolitical risk, and making sure you know what you're actually dealing with.
Could you give us, I understand you're going to be on two panels at hashtag Risk GRC conference in July. Could you give us maybe a teaser of at least your part of the presentation of those two panels?
Well, really looking forward to the event. And as you mentioned, I'm involved with two panels. Kind of funny because I'm kicking it off with the first panel and I'm having cleanup with the last panel as well. So the first one to kick it off, it's really focused on AI, and Trump has announced a $500 billion investment into AI infrastructure. And so the panel's planning to unpack what that means for the GRC risk community. You know, AI is definitely a buzzword within the GRC world, but what does it actually mean? You know, the next 5 to 10 years, how is the GRC world going to look? We're going to start to unpack that. And I think throughout the days or the events over the course of 2 days, I think AI will be a topic in a lot of different panels. And then to close out, you know, the topic that's one of my favorites, and I know we've discussed it in the past, is really looking at how GRC risk teams are dealing with the political uncertainty that's on the horizon. And right now, every day is different, right? So it's how are we really approaching this from a GRC risk standpoint to really level set and find that path forward. So I think there's a lot to discuss. I'm sure even between now and the event, a lot will change. So it should be interesting.
Chris, I'd like to end by asking, in addition to the great speakers and panels that we are both a part of, what do you hope to get out of this year's hashtag Risk Conference?
For me, I think venues like this are great, particularly in person, to really get a sense of what the best practices are, going back to the theme that I just described in dealing with the uncertainty, because I've mentioned in the past that really as compliance professionals, we're almost at the front lines of really unpacking what the new risk landscapes are going to look like, which ultimately can impact corporations' bottom lines. And so I think getting groups like this together to glean what are the best practices, what are people seeing in different circles, that's really valuable to take back to your organization. And again, I think GRC risk is going to be at the forefront of forging the path forward for corporations, getting through this level of uncertainty that we're dealing with.
Well, Chris, I, for one, am greatly looking forward to both of your presentations. I'm also looking forward to catching up with you next month in New York. So I look forward to seeing you there.
Sounds like a plan. See you, Tom.
Compliance Podcast Network. Start your mornings with daily compliance news, quick, sharp updates on the top compliance and ethics stories in under 5 minutes every morning in Compliance Podcast Network. Because compliance never sleeps. Need practical advice fast? Check out Compliance Tip of the Day. One actionable idea to level up your program. Short and sweet. Every day on Compliance Podcast Network. Got 10 minutes? We've got the week's top 10 stories. 10 for 10 brings you the big compliance headlines. Fast, fun, and focused. Every Saturday on Compliance Podcast Network. And don't miss the Sunday Book Review, where compliance meets culture through must-read books and big ideas every Sunday in Compliance Podcast Network. Whether you're in the office, on a walk, or commuting, stay smart, stay ethical, stay tuned. Only on the Compliance Podcast Network, available wherever you listen to podcasts.